Hey everybody, super excited about today. I've been on a roll with the videos. Before we get started, click subscribe. I need you guys to always get these. I don't want you to miss them. Turn on your notifications because they're coming. I'm just excited about everything that I'm able to bring to you guys with this new channel. Again, I'm Alicia Lester. I'm your niche coach. And today on Get Your Shit Together, we're going to talk about why not right now is so important. Why not right now is so important. Everybody, the way life is now, everything is just moving so fast and everybody want what they want. The pandemic definitely made us realize that we can get whatever we want right now. We have a logistics company. So, people call and order things, Amazon, all that stuff, and you get it right now. You don't have to leave out of the comfort of your own home or anything like that. And you get what you want to get right now, especially if you have Prime. But nevertheless, right now. But what about when someone tells you not right now? What about when God says not right now? Or insert whoever you believe in, whatever your belief is, not right now. That hurts. That stings anybody. If I call and ask my husband for something and he says not right now, it makes me feel some kind of way. It just does. But one thing I realized about the words not right now is that it doesn't mean not at all. You may have to wait a little bit. You may have to do a few more things, but not right now doesn't mean not at all. Sometimes you be so caught up in wanting things, wanting a job, wanting a man, wanting this home, wanting this new life, this new look, that you are willing to go after it prematurely. And sometimes when you get it, it's not at all what you thought it was. It's damn near like ordering off Wish.com. It never comes the way that you want it. It comes, but it doesn't come the way that you thought it was or the way that you had it all pictured in your mind. So sometimes that not right now is just that. That means something better is possibly coming. That means something more, something outside of your realm of expectation, something even more than you can even gather is coming. But you won't receive it because you're moving too fast. Don't move prematurely when it comes to your life. Don't move if you go to purchase a new car and those numbers don't seem to add up with your bank account or with your finances or with your next paycheck and things like that, take that as a not right now. Because what's going to happen is you're going to realize that, or you're going to see, oh, I have the money right now. You have the money right now to get it, but can you sustain it? Can you keep it in the long run? How long will you have this vehicle? Will you be able to plate this vehicle? Will you be able to get insurance on this vehicle? Hell, will you be able to put gas in this vehicle? So sometimes the things that we want right now, you don't need them right now. That relationship. Sometimes you want this man or you want this woman so bad because you're looking at them from afar and you like the way they do things. You like the way they are. You like the way they look. You know what I'm saying? All of that. And you want it. And I want it. And I want to push this relationship. And I want to take it to the next level. And I want. And then you realize that that's not what you wanted at all. That's not what you needed at all. What you should have done was pump your brakes, do your research, and see if this person is somebody that you wanted in your life. So now you got it because you waited. You jumped on, because you didn't wait. You jumped on your own time. Now that you got it, what you going to do now? Well, now he's snore. Now he ain't got no job. Now she don't have any money. Now she's pregnant. Now there are all of these things that you didn't see coming at first. So now you feel blindsided. But had you waited a moment, had you wait just a little bit, you would have been able to see all of these things and then properly make your decision. When it comes to a career, I see people all the time. They say, you know what? I'm going to quit because I want to be up here, or I want this position. I want to go there. You say all these different things that you want and that you need and that you feel like you deserve. If you want them, God knows it. If you need them, God knows it. If you deserve them, God knows it. He knew it before you knew it. But just because you haven't gotten there yet does not mean that greatness isn't coming. It does not mean that increase isn't coming. It does not mean that your recognition is not coming. But I've seen people jump the gun and go so far. So now you're out of a job. Now you don't have anything. Now you don't have absolutely anything. Or you were able to catapult yourself to that next level. God allowed you to get it, or whoever you believe in allowed you to get it. And now you're miserable. Now it's terrible. Now you almost want to go back to where you were, but you can't now because somebody else moved into your position. Or they've done away with the position altogether. You wanted to be here. And now it's more hours, it's more work, it's more stress, more of an inconvenience. Maybe the person that had it before you, they were able to skate through because maybe they didn't have the type of things going on in their life that you may have. Maybe they didn't have any children. I remember when we were looking to try to find someone to work dispatch for us. I personally wanted someone that did not have any children. Now, don't get me wrong. We had a young lady that did have kids, and she was very, very qualified for the job. But she also had an obligation to be a parent to her children all the time. Well, that's not what I needed. So I couldn't promote her and take her where she wanted to go at that time. She was so upset. She felt like we were discriminating because she was a woman and this is that and the other. And I don't even like the D word. I don't even like discrimination. I'm a woman. So of course I want to get us in the door first. I understood her life as a parent to 5 children. So I said, okay, trial basis. We threw her in there because that's what happens. You get in there and now you're dispatching. And I waited. And I waited, and I didn't have to wait long, honey. This was just over a course of a week. She was beet red. She was stressed out. She was going through it. She was absolutely going through it because when the job calls, you have to stop what you're doing and you have to be there. You have to get back out on that road. You have to check your drivers. You have to check the logs, check schedules, check everything. She felt defeated. She couldn't understand why this was happening to her. She almost felt like it was unfair and like we were adding more stress onto her purposely. I would never do anything like that. We would never do anything like that. So she started asking around and asking previous dispatch and the other dispatcher and things like that. And they're like, yeah. And you have it lightly because you just started. And she had to step back and she was like, you know what? This is not for me. I have a child that's sick. I have a child that has a doctor's appointment. I have this I have to do. I have that. Absolutely. So that's why I chose someone that didn't have as many responsibilities as she did. But she wanted to jump the gun and I'll go to another company and I'll go somewhere else and this, that, and the other. Okay. You absolutely can. I'll never keep someone somewhere where they don't want to be. But you have to understand that this is the nature of the beast. This is the job. So it was never that I was overlooking her. It was never that I didn't want her to have the position. It was never that I didn't want to see her rise. It was that I knew for sure it would beat her down. We talked, we had plenty of conversations, and I knew that being a mother was just as important to her as it was to me. Hell, I couldn't do the job. It's my company. The demand was too high. The demand was absolutely too high. So sometimes when you jump the gun, you end up finding yourself, it's kind of like you jumped into a trick bag. Because now you're pissed off. Now you're upset. Now you're unhappy. When all you had to do was wait a moment. All I wanted to do was to be able to create a position for her because she was so good. But I had to create something that was based around in between her life as a parent. But it didn't come fast enough for that person. And those people, it's not just that person. That was just my own personal experience. But just people in general, you have to understand that sometimes that not right now, it's not a no. It's not. Sometimes you want to start that business. You want to move out of town. You want to go all these places. You want to go on that trip. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's not right now because it's either not in the budget, it's not conducive to what you have going on in your life, or just sometimes God holds you back from things that you can get yourself into. Another quick story. I wanted a home so bad on this certain block. I wanted this home for so many years, and before I got married, and I kept my eye on this house. Kept my eye on it, and I wanted it so bad. So I just told myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to walk into this bank and I'm going to get this loan and I'm going to get this house. Well, before I did that, I drove past the house again some years later. This was years later. I drove past the house again. And no. Oh, and someone had moved into the home. I felt so discouraged. I was so mad. I'm going to seek these loans for this home. I was turned down for the loan. And I know for sure I had all my ducks in a row, but I was turned down for this particular loan. My feelings were so hurt. So now someone else moved into the home and I'm watching this family because I'm riding past constantly as I'm taking my son back and forth to school. And I see these people in what I felt like was my home. And so I go and I just, I go on with life, of course, but I still keep my heart on this home. Well, years later, me and my husband, we had gotten married, we had purchased our home and all that kind of stuff, but we were also looking for properties to buy. And so I said, you know what, let me go look at this home that I've always loved so much. Y'all, I went past this home and it was nothing but grass. The home was gone, completely gone. Now, I hadn't seen it in a few years. My son had eventually stopped going to that school, went on to high school, graduated. And so I'm looking, I'm like, this is just crazy to me. I go to the neighbor's home who I knew, and she wasn't there. So I sent her a message on Facebook and I'm like, hey, hit me up when you get a chance. And so she did. And so I said, what happened to that house that's right next to yours? And she said, oh my goodness, you must haven't been by here in a long time. And I'm like, no, I haven't, I haven't at all. I tried to put the house out of my mind, because I wanted it so bad and I didn't get approved for it. And she said, the house burnt down about a year and a half to 2 years after the woman moved in. It was a woman and her child, and they almost didn't make it out alive. The house, faulty wiring, a landlord just kind of threw some things together, whatever, but they almost didn't make it out alive. And I'm like, wow. I wanted that home so bad. I was willing to risk it all, do anything that I had to do, go the extra mile, all of that. I was so upset, but God said, not right now. And I tried to go above and beyond. I tried to go under his word, over his word, around his word to have what I wanted to have. It would have been a woman, myself, and her child, my son, that moved into that very home had God said, okay. I could have very well been that woman who almost didn't make it out alive with her child, with a fire that started in the middle of the night because of faulty wiring. So I realized in that very moment that that not right now, it don't mean not ever. This right here isn't for you. I wanted that home. The home didn't want me. I wanted that home for myself. And I'm not telling anybody to not dream big and look forward to certain things and I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you go that extra mile and you do all of those things and you still receive or hear a not right now, keep your head up. Keep your head up and understand that what's coming for you is just ahead. You'll miss it if your head is down and you're sulking and you're misery and you're unhappy and you're upset. Keep your head up. So when I hear a no, not right now, or that's simply not for me. Do you know how many times I've been saved from something that I wanted so bad, a relationship, all kinds of things. I wanted it because it was right now and it was my dream and it was my goal and it's what I wanted to do. God said, not right now. You can't have it. You won't get it. I won't allow it. You will be still. And you will know that I am in control of this thing. So you stay right where you are. I have something even greater and even better coming. Since then, every home I've ever lived in was 10 times better than that home that I wanted for myself. He definitely gave me an increase in so many different areas of my life. So many. So sometimes if you just sit still, listen, just wait a moment, you will get to where you want to be. I went out and purchased a brand new, I can't remember what year that was, but a brand new vehicle. I wanted this vehicle so bad. And I had been used to paying high car payments because my credit wasn't shit. So I knew that I needed to have a substantial down payment and all of these things. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go get this car and I'm going to go get it on my own. And I did. I went and I paid all this money for a down payment and I got the car. I sure did. I got the car that I wanted to have. I got the color that I wanted to have. I got everything. I pulled off that lot. We're trying to do we're doing the paperwork. They let me take the car home before the ink even dried. That's when you know something ain't right. But they let me take this car home, and I told them, you know, what I could afford as far as payments was concerned. I couldn't, but I was going to try. And so they said, okay, they'll factor in all that. When they came back, the payments was about $200 more than what I said I could afford. So mind you, they're letting me drive this car while they're getting these numbers together. They're letting me drive this car. I'm driving, y'all. I'm driving my ass off. I'm driving. My son loves the car. I love the car. I look good in the car. I need this. This is for me. This is for me. The finance company called me one good Thursday. I'll never forget. He called me on one good Thursday and he said, hi, Alicia. He said, this is so-and-so from such and such car place. He said, I was calling about the car that you have. There seems to be some issues with the financing. You can keep the car, but it's going to cost you $200 more. Or you can bring the car back. We can try to find you something cheaper or whatever, but this is really all that we can do. And y'all, I thought about that thing. I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it. But one of the most important things that I thought about was this car payment would have been expensive. My insurance would have been even more money. I have a great driving record, but it doesn't matter. Money is money. My car payment would have been more. Buying gas would have been more. I still had rent. I still had my son's tuition. I still had all these different expenses. You see where it's going? Above my damn head. By this time, honey, all of that was above me. I couldn't do it. Not when my finances sit right here. There was no way. And as much as I wanted this vehicle and as bad as I wanted this vehicle, I said, you know what? I can't do it. I absolutely cannot do it. I can't. It will take me under. Now, I can get it today. Don't get me wrong. But what am I going to do next month? I still got to get groceries. I still got to do all these different things. I ain't got no husband yet. At this point, I ain't had nobody. It was just me. But I had to ask myself if I was willing to live above my means. Was I willing to hurt myself? Was I willing to hurt my family? No. Because one thing I wasn't going to do is sell some ass, beg, borrow, or steal to pay for this vehicle. And a vehicle should never be more than what I pay in rent. There's no way. I said, that's okay. I can't do it. So I drove to the park. And I sat there at the park and I prayed, y'all. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. Because after this, I don't have no car. And I prayed and I was like, Lord, you got to do something. If you take this away, I got to have something. I have to have something. I humbled myself completely. Child, I called a friend of mine. I said, meet me over at the dealership. Taking the car back. He said, why? Can't afford it. Cool. No more questions. I went over there. I gassed it up. I took it back. It's like as soon as I handed that man the keys, it was like a huge weight had lifted off my shoulders. It was almost as if what was impossible became possible. But not for that car. Not for that vehicle at all. The man said, do you want us to help you try to find something a little bit cheaper? Or like, what do you want to do? And I said, you know what? I'm good. I'm okay. Because you were going to have to run my credit again. You were going to have to, just all kind of things. Just give me my down payment back. We good. He said, okay. They issued me a check, gave me my down payment back. I left there. I went to a buy here, pay here that I'd been familiar with, friends of the family, all of that. I went to a buy here, pay here. And I bought a vehicle that would last me a long time. And that's exactly what I did. That vehicle lasted me a long time. I was able to pay it off. I was able to obtain the title of that vehicle. I was able to then trade it in for something else that I wanted and, so on and so forth. But it did not hurt me. It never went above my head. Because remember, finances was here. Everything else would have took me here. with that new car that I had and everything that I was doing, I was right here. I was right here, making it all make sense. So sometimes the not right now does not mean not at all. A lot of times you just have to sit back and think about what it is that you can and cannot do. Don't hurt yourself trying to keep up with other people. Don't hurt yourself trying to be somebody or something that you absolutely are not. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you will find yourself in a world of trouble. That's not what you want for your life. That's not what you want for your family. That's not kicking things off right on a good, you know what I'm saying? It's not. That's not generational wealth. That's debt. That is absolute debt. And at our age, that's something that we definitely have to work on. That's something that we definitely have to do. I don't co-sign for anybody. I don't do that. You damn near can't put me down as a reference unless I really, really know you. But I don't do any of those things because it took me too long to get to a place where I didn't need anybody's name on my stuff. My mother, may God rest her soul, my mother co-signed for me one time back in 99. That was like a goddamn horror movie. Every week she threatened to take the car away. Every month she threatened to put me out the car, take just all kinds of stuff. And I said on that day, I would never let anybody else co-sign for me again. If I couldn't buy it, that's because I don't need it. As God is my witness to this day, I never had another. I just couldn't. I couldn't. You can't control me. You wasn't going to control me with that. That wasn't going to do that. I said, no, Mama, I love you to death, child, but this is not what we're going to do. We are not going to do this. And I'm at a place in my life now where I'm too old for it. I am absolutely too old for it. Start living your life and getting yourself in order. Start getting your shit together. Getting your shit together means your finances, your love life, your relationships, friendships, your home, your business. Get your shit together. That way, if anybody ever has your name in their mouth, before they say all of that, or even after, it don't matter whether it come before or at the end, they can say, but she got her shit together. Say whatever you want to say, but just know that I have my shit together. That's what's important. That's what's important. Those are people that I could talk to. Those people, I can handle those kind of conversations any day. But you have got to realize that not right now does not mean never. It does not mean no. It's just simply saying, pump your brakes. Give it a moment. Everything will be okay. We'll come back to it. Maybe now is not the time for you to have this position. Maybe now is not the time for you to have this career, job, relationship, friendship, home, all of those things. Maybe now is not the time for you to have that child that you so desperately want. Maybe now is not the time. Maybe the reason that the Lord has not given you a child right now is because the person that you are with is not the person that you need to be with. He be trying to save these kids, child. He be trying to save y'all from the heartache, from the headache, from all of those things. Don't ever want something so bad that you're willing to take all the BS that comes along with it just to have it. Because guess what? Now you just brought a baby in the world with an asshole on some BS. That's not what you want for yourself. That's not what I want for you. Sometimes the not right now means I didn't make it that way for you to be able to have children. I wanted you to love on children that need your help, that need your love, that need your affection and your appreciation. Maybe the not right now is just because you have something other people don't to be able to offer this child, these children, so on and so forth. You don't always have to push something out to be a mother. I promise you that. You don't always have to push it out just to be a mother. If that wasn't your calling, if that's not what God wanted for you, I'm not going to say that it don't hurt. I'm not going to say that it feels good or that it's okay. I can't tell you how to feel. But I will say that it's something inside of you. There's something nurturing inside of you that is supposed to be shared with others. That is supposed to be shared with nieces, nephews, friends, adoption, fostering, all of those things. So don't always think that not right now means no, not at all. Because just because you give birth to something, honey, because I promise you, I had 3 C-sections. I'd have traded your ass places. I promise you I would have. I love them babies to death, honey. But if somebody else could have carried them and gave them to me, that would have been all right with me. That would have been okay with me. On top of that, I was adopted. So I understand. And I get it, honey. I get it. I get it. I get it. Love is love. Somebody took the time out to love me when somebody else was having a hard time doing so. So don't tell me it's not a blessing and a lesson, because it absolutely is. So, not now, not right now does not mean no at all. I remember wanting a relationship so bad. Oh, I wanted this boy so bad. This guy, this man, sorry. I wanted him so bad I didn't know what to do. I was willing to move heaven and earth, honey, to get to him. And he said to me early on, just want to be friends. Who? Friends with who? Not with me, you don't. Because that's not what I had planned for my life, honey. I had planned all of you. I did not plan this little friendship. I didn't plan this little hangout from time. I didn't plan that. I planned my life with you already. All you have to do is show up and act like you got some sense. That's not what he wanted. I couldn't accept the rejection, so I kept trying to project myself onto this person. That's not what he wanted. So you have to know that for me, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, shit, I'm somebody's type out here. I promise you, I know I am. It wasn't for him. It was not for him. We were supposed to be friends. We were supposed to have a friendship. But because I didn't like the delivery, or because I didn't like the outcome, I was upset by it. I was very, very upset by it. But I had to also understand and know that, child, you ain't everybody's type. Everybody don't want you. I don't care what you see when you look in the mirror. That does not mean that everybody wants you. But just know that you are somebody's type. Seek that. Instead of trying to run up behind him. Seek that. And that's what I did. And child, I spent a long many years. I ain't gonna tell you how long I spent projecting myself onto that person that kept me right here. Right here. But I kept trying because I didn't want to accept no for an answer. So I think it had stopped. It was no longer about the relationship. It was about me. It was about the rejection that I did not like, that I did not want, and that I didn't understand. Honey, I did not understand because I had these red lips and everything. So I was not understanding. But God said, not right now. And had I kept playing all up in that man's face, I would have never been able to be the wife, the mother, the woman that I am right now today. Not right now. And it's okay. And I want you guys to know it's okay. So in the meantime, I just want y'all to keep on getting y'all shit together. Keep on checking me out. Click subscribe right now. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Tell a friend, share it. And we're going to keep it going. And I'm going to keep coming back and filling you guys with goodness and greatness and motivation and laughs and all of that. That's what we're going to keep doing. And we're going to work this thing out, and we're going to continue to help you become who you need to be. I'm your niche coach, Alicia Lester Bryma. I appreciate you all. Look me up, hit me up on social media, Alicia Lester Bryma. That's my main page. Niche Coach on Instagram. I'm author Alicia Lester. I also have an Instagram page, which is Niche Coach. Check me out on my website, niche-coach.com. For any of your coaching needs or anything like that, you can always book with me. My sessions are very reasonable, so you can always do that. But guys, hit me up, and I'm gonna come back. I let my coffee get cold now, but I'm gonna come back with some more videos and some more, just more greatness for you guys. I appreciate you all. I thank you. Click subscribe once again. Y'all thought I forgot. Click subscribe once again, and y'all have an amazing day.